item number 6-2, U.S. widening of Mill Lane additional service change order. I think they're making a request up to $10,000, is that correct? A modification, or we have, if this is approved, we should have something just a little more than $8,000 left in reserves. What are the wishes of the agency? We have a motion on the floor by agency member McCarthy and a second by agency member Bovair. Chair's gonna call the question. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it. Moving on to the third and final item under new business, proposed 2011 fiscal year budget. You want to do your presentation, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes. Every couple of years I come back and I kind of give an overview of where we are and where we're going. And I think this is an appropriate time. We looked at it a little bit last year, but not to the extent that we have this year, and made some projections based on some issues that are happening. A couple of factors that are affecting the redevelopment agency revenues. If you recall, in 2007, the legislature mandated a rollback of millage rates. That obviously affects this agency because you derive your revenues from the increment, that of the increase over the base value. And as the municipality and government county lower their millage rates, that's less money available to you. In 2008, Amendment 1, Save Our Homes, passed. There's been some other legislative tinkering that affected, non-residential property. And then we had a recession, which we still are in, depending on with whom you speak, we're still in, a recession, at least coming out of it, In the last 3 years, the redevelopment agency has seen their property valuation decrease by almost 32%, 16% just this past year. We saw a 15.92% loss of value for this upcoming fiscal year. Future valuation, just trying to be, I think, conservative, although many people think that we're going to be coming out of this. I think we do have another year or so, maybe 3 years of seeing a decline. Although it will get less and less. We believe in 2012, next year's budget, we're still looking at probably another 10%, and then 7%, 3.5%, and then kind of stabilizing. When you read, just recently had the opportunity to read Dr. Snaith, of which many of you remember with UCF's Economic Competitiveness Institute. He put out his most recent economic outlook. And we're within a couple years of what, other people think in terms of the rebound. We've spoken with some local developers, contractors, realtors, and so we feel safe to err more on the, kind of be conservative on the one side when it comes to the revenues. So we do believe in the next couple years you'll still see a valuation decrease. Here's your taxable valuation. As you can see, between 1995 and 2001, it was relatively stable. The agency started out with a $26 million, almost $27 million base back in 1981. So you can see it only doubled from 81 in 20 years. It basically doubled, didn't just barely double. But then you had the park project, and then you had a lot of other activity happen with the condominiums, the Oleander Point. You had Barclay Square actually was first, and they completed in 1999. 01, you had Oleander Point, I think, was completed. Then you had Whitley Bay. And then we had 21 Riverside. We had the Parish Condominium, and then Tom Price's project, and a couple other, things happen within the village. We've seen a couple buildings rehabbed and reoccupied. The apex of the CRA's, valuation was in 2008 at $192 million. And we're now down to basically $132 million. So we do, again, based on our projections, we believe that it's going to go down about 2 more years, kind of tail off, and then start seeing slow but moderate increases. Now, all these projections and these assumptions on value are, they won't include the $12 million project if that happens by, 2013, 2015. This is not including new construction. This is just based on where we are today. And in terms of the tax rate or the millage rates, we took today's millage rates and we maintained them. They were constant throughout the evaluation for 2021. Obviously, what we're seeing here, as well as other local governments in the county, they're going to the aggregate rollback, which is, it's kind of a negative rollback, it's just to maintain the revenue stream. If that happens, the revenues available to the redevelopment agency should increase. That's important because of last year, you were at 95%. We can budget up to 95%. You received just under $1.1 million in revenue. For this upcoming year, you're going to receive $843,000 in revenue. That's a pretty substantial drop in revenue. And where it gets really risky is, and I've highlighted with the red box, when we look at year 2014, 2015, it becomes perilously close to our debt service. You have $620,000, $620,000 of debt service. When we went out for this debt service, if you were to look at year 2008, 2007, that's when we made these decisions. And we then got delayed a little bit on the one streetscape project. The City Hall we had an issue with changing sites at the City Hall, but we'd already secured the debt. So the point being is, when we made the decision, we've always had a policy of trying to stay